One thing, Billy, I've watched over the years, even when I was living in New York, I knew some of the most deepest people that was homeless, that studied so much and got so inundated with the knowledge, but they wasn't able to transmute that knowledge into something that could benefit them like you have done.
It's not only having the knowledge, but what I learned early on, fortunately, was that you have to apply the knowledge.
Exactly.
And if you have a certain level of knowledge, which is talking about spiritual power, high frequency, magnetism, attracting things into your life, controlling a certain aspect of your reality, being the light, seeking the light, and all these incredible things, then I thought, well, your life should show that in some way, shape, or form.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, all of that, to me, in my opinion, all leads to a certain level of an abundant life. Not meaning you're a billionaire, but it means that your needs are met and you're walking in your true power.
Boxes, I cannot fit in the boxes. Stop it. Quitting was never an option. Exhausted. This passion is never exhausted. And you cannot stop it. Nah, you cannot stop it. Quitting was never an option. And you cannot stop it. Nah, you cannot stop it.
All right. Hey, everyone. I got King Simon, the master numerologist in the house, best-selling author, incredible human being, and a very, very good friend. What's going on, King Simon?
What's up, beloved? How you doing, my brother? What's going on?
Hey, man, we're doing good, man. We're doing good. Everything is on the rise. Everything is positivity, and we're heading into 2025.
Yeah, I'm proud of your journey, proud of our journey, proud of your whole family's journey. No matter what's going on, y'all stay in focus, and that's what I like.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And we go way, way back. Even before I met you, I actually had your books.
Me too.
Your books. And I remember the first time I met you in person, I think it was at St. Francis College in New York.
That's right. I got Brother Rich that venue to help him get produce you and Gano, Street Master Gano together. Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
I was
that was a great time.
I was the MC also.
Oh, yes, you were. Yeah, it was a great event, beautiful event, sold out event, people standing out the door, down the street trying to get inside.
That's right. That's right.
And
I gave you a book. You remember I gave you Delbert Blair's book, remember?
Yes, you did, which I still have in my bookshelf in my library. Yeah, absolutely. So we got some years.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, man. And what I love is that over the years, we stayed connected. We've become good friends. We've broken bread together, spent time with each other. I've gone to a place where you were staying. You've come to my house.
Right.
And, we just have now developed this brotherly love, man, that I think is just incredible and it's hard to find. So we appreciate you, man.
Man, to me, since I was young, loyalty has been a very important thing to me. And if I have a problem with anybody, I usually call them on the phone. I'm not about going online and doing foolishness. And my life path number is a number 17. Like Brother Rich is born on the 17th. My life path is 17. So that is a loyalty number. The 8 is a number of loyalty.
Wow.
Unless you get on our nerves and we have to deal with you, we got to deal with you. I try to stay away from that. And I'm about peace and love and none of the stress, man. No stress.
Right. Absolutely, man. Today's going to be a powerful podcast. I'm really excited about it. We're going to talk about how numbers guide us. But first, for the people who may not really understand numerology, can you give a basic breakdown of what numerology actually is?
Man, like I did on Calculate Your Destiny, it only means the study of numbers. Now, how you use these studies of numbers is totally up to you. You could do it from an abstract perspective, an esoteric perspective, a metaphysical perspective, which is basically the same thing, a spiritual perspective, dream perspective. You could also recognize number, health perspective, anywhere you want to go, as long as words, frequency, sound, and power is connected to it, numbers can be used. Just like a GPS, it triangulates what's going on and help you to navigate better.
Right. Absolutely. And yes, you did mention something great, How to Calculate Your Destiny, a TV show hosted by yours truly, King Simon, on Forbidden Knowledge TV. So make sure you guys get that Forbidden Knowledge TV app and watch How to Calculate Your Destiny.
And I won awards too. I won awards for it too, remember?
That's right.
Did you ever wonder if your birth date holds information about your destiny? Why you keep seeing the same number or several numbers? Welcome to Numbers Are Simple, people are complicated. I am your host, King Simon. Numbers are not here to control you, they're here to give you guidance. It's time for you to be able to read the numbers.
An award-winning TV host,
Exactly.
King Simon. That's right. You got TV Host of the Year for a conscious TV series, which is incredible, man. So congratulations on that. That was at the 2nd annual Forbidden Conscious Awards.
Yes, exactly. Thank you very much. It's so funny, brother Billy. I'm in my 11th personal year, which 1 + 1 = 2, and I won at the 2nd annual.
Wow. Beautiful, man. Everything is connected. Everything is connected, man. And shout out to your incredible fans that really went in and voted for you. As you know, this is voted on by the fans.
Yes.
You know, with the exception of 3 or 4 awards that we give out, including the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yes.
That's selected by committee, but the other, I think it's 14 awards are selected by the fans. So you got a lot of votes. Your people supported you. They voted for you. Yes. And you won, man, because I really appreciate everything you bring into the world.
Yes, thank you. You know, once you, you know, I'm about playing the team and being a team member. So I help promoting everybody, and I made sure people was doing what we got to do. I learned that years ago, and thank you very much for allowing me to be a part of the journey. Yeah,
man, no problem.
Yeah.
And when we talk about how numbers guide us, some of the things I think about from a scientific mind, is, you know, I'm thinking about things like sacred geometry.
Yes.
I'm thinking about things like the Fibonacci sequence.
Yes.
And how you can see these patterns throughout nature with the Fibonacci, even in the human body.
Yes.
And of course, the Mandelbrot set, which is a mathematical equation that breaks down fractals and how fractals creates everything from the swirl of a universe to the swirl on the top of your head.
Right.
And so I kind of correlate those scientific principles or understandings or theories to life itself.
Right.
So what is it from your perspective?
Well, I try to make it as human and simple as possible. Just like if someone, you know, you mentioned the Fibonacci sequence, which can also be connected to the Sankofa symbols, is where if you start looking back at Fibonacci or the guy from Pizza, you'll find that he studied with those Muslims and those Moors of the past. It's in the book. I got 3 books that confirms this. So I always do cross-referencing. And when people are dreaming about certain symbols and like numbers, because numbers are symbols, even letters are symbols. If I'm helping to guide them in a human perspective, I always let them know that if you're dreaming of like the triangle symbol or the square symbol, let's say the triangle symbol, it's telling you to triangulate something in your life, both good and bad, recognizing the higher levels of it, because the triangle is there to point up sometimes, and sometimes it can point down, depending on what you're doing. As far as the square symbol, and you're recognizing the square symbol or square showing up, then you know there's probably some type of confinement or some type of building you got to do in your life. Again, I'm a numerovator, so I'm trying to motivate you with your numbers, not try to give all the deep esoteric. I leave that to you and everybody else. Y'all get deep. I try to keep it simple, and then I will recommend them to your holographic universe book or those type of books when I see that they need to go a little bit more because they want to study. But one thing, Billy, I've watched over the years, even when I was living in New York, I knew some of the most deepest people that was homeless. That studied so much and got so inundated with the knowledge, but they wasn't able to transmute that knowledge into something that could benefit them like you have done. Wow. you see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. It's not only having the knowledge, but what I learned early on, fortunately, was that you have to apply the knowledge.
Exactly.
And if you have a certain level of knowledge, which is talking about spiritual power, high frequency, magnetism, you know, attracting things into your life, controlling a certain aspect of your reality, and you know, being the light, seeking the light, and all these incredible things, then I thought, well, your life should show that in some way, shape, or form. Because at the end of the day, all of that, to me, in my opinion, all leads to a certain level of an abundant life. Not meaning you're a billionaire, but it means that your needs are met and you're walking in your true power. And so I decided early on that I would apply these things in real life, in real time, and that I would be a walking example of the life that I'm living, so that people can look up to me and say, wow, if he can do it, I can do it. Because he came from, in some cases, in a worse place than where I came from. So, you know, I mean, if anybody can come lower than the gutter, that's where I started from. So I just try to, you know, it's not all about having physical things for me. It's also the on our dream board, we have laughter on our dream board. We have happiness. A lot of the things I didn't have as a child. We have happiness. We have travel. We have the family sitting together, spending quality time on our dream board. It's not just all mansions and nice cars. It's really some real palpable stuff that I think in essence makes a person truly happy on the inside.
Yes.
And so that's another thing. My relationship is incredible, and it's so powerful and so strong with my family. And I'm just really loving life on a daily basis, regardless of what goes on outside. Yes, there's always going to be things that come and blindside you and get you frustrated, but I realize it's only temporary. Every single day when we wake up in our current condition, and then other people got to wake up in their current condition. And I'd rather take my current condition over anyone else's on the planet, because I feel like I'm living one of the most incredible, most powerful lives that a person can possibly live, and I'm really happy with it. But again, it's all about showing and proving, really living what you're teaching.
And that's what I love about you, and being so open and transparent since I've met you, and being an honest individual that I can call on even when you're working out, or when I'm working out, or if I'm going through stuff, you going through stuff, you call on me, and that is what you find as true humanity. That's true humanity, and that's what I respect. Being born under the energy of Aquarian, we look at the humans, and being born under the sign of Virgos, that's a human sign also. So we look at the human aspect of things and connect humanity on a higher level. Sometimes we get sideswiped by somebody, but it's not how we get hit, but how we take the hit and then bob and weave and then move on. That's what's the importance of not just how we use humanity, but also the mathematics and the astrology and everything connected to it, to make ourselves be the best way we can in this world.
Yeah, man.
That's what I'm
absolutely.
About.
Yeah, bro. That's powerful stuff, man. If anybody can get anything out of this, it's just that little tidbit we just dropped, man, because that's real. It's
real.
We live it. You and I live it on a day-to-day basis, man. And you can always tell who are the real ones when the ones who think you might be in some type of turmoil or situation that reach out, and you, Brother Rich, and many others are very quick to reach out. We check in randomly with you from time to time, see how you're doing. It's just that brotherly love that's there, that energy, that frequency that we're on, that's always looking to uplift and support versus tear down and break down. And that's something that is so rare to find. And if you can be a person that you can be a person that's supportive like that to someone or to others, I encourage people to be that. And from time to time, people will use you for your kindness. It happens. It's going to happen. It's happened to me. I'm sure it happened to you, King Simon. But overall, it's a better way to be. It's a better way to live.
Yes. And when you see it happening to somebody, you got to reach out and say, hey, don't the calm and storm. You're going through a storm. Get ready for the calm. It's going to be calm again. That's life, up and down, to and fro. I love it. And although certain periods of my time when I didn't think I had nobody, there was always a guided or some type of intervention that happened, Billy, all the time. Even when I was 8 years old and thought about unaliving myself, the intervention was ancestors bombarding my mind and saying, yo, you're going to miss your grandmother. You're going to miss I didn't know where these voices was coming from at 8 years of age.
Wow.
I did not know. And then I just put down the blade and went and ran and cried in my room, cried it out because I needed to release it. Whatever it was. I still have the mark on my wrist to this day.
Wow, man. That's powerful.
So
for those of you who hear this, I was just going to say, for those of them who hear this, man, listen to those ancestors, listen to those vibrations and frequencies coming from yourself.
Exactly. The good ones, the positive ones, to remind you that life is to be lived, and don't leave this life without sharing your gift to the world. Because I could have been a picture on my mother's altar right now, and that's it. Now we got the altars of my books out here now, and numerology. Instead of being a picture of the altar, I got altars of my books out there.
Wow. Powerful, man. What a way to reverse it and flip it. And, because a lot of people are alive, but they're not living. You turned it around, and now you're living. And that's just an incredible thing to see.
That part. And, to all the people that may be in spiritual system and religious system, I tell people numbers are here to guide you so you can be the best in your system. Don't fight it. if you just be your best and be able to elevate. Because I've been through Islam and Christianity and Rasta and all that kind of stuff, but I also became a better person, understanding that I needed to take what I needed from it and grow. And numbers helped me to do that throughout the years, since I've been studying it since my 80s, in the 80s.
Wow, amazing. If somebody's really trying to find their passion, how can numerovation help them with that?
Well, one thing I always tell people to remember, what is it that you love to do first? Numerovation, the numbers and its frequency is just going to give you the positive and the negative interpretation to tell you what to avoid and what to pursue. So if the number 1 is the number of creativity and you love to dance, then you got to become a creative dancer. If number 1, if you have a lot of number 1s, or if you have a number 4 in your chat and you want to become a dancer, then you have to be disciplined to be able to accomplish that dancing credibility. If you're born under the 5, then you got to learn how to be adaptable in your talents. Because like James Brown said, he said, once you have a gift, you should never be broke. Never be broke. So a lot of people, because life be life and on both positive and negative, some people go towards the life be life and on the negative, don't realize that in your early stages of your childhood, you already revealed your passions, your gifts, your talents and skills. And then because life be life, you got to pay a bill, you got a family, you got this, you got trauma. That's why numbers are simple. People are complicated. That's what happens. There it is. The complication comes from all this trauma and dramas that you picked up over the years that has shot your powers and your greatness. Now, how many people out there have had psychic things or had intuitive things that they used to look at, and then because you was in some type of religion, they said, don't you say that, don't you believe in that, don't you do that. They shut down your powers. I went through that. Family members have gone through that. Oh, you got a black tongue, because every time you said something, it comes through. You got power. You just know how to, you just need to learn how to use it and redirect it. But they're not going to. And I tell people all the time, Brother Billy, that everybody has psychic abilities. Everybody has intuition. Everybody has gut feelings. If you're in the church, they call it prophets and prophetess. If you're on the street, they call it psychic. If you're over here, is intuition. Over here is gut feelings. Over here is it's just words being changed at every point, every pivotal point. But please tap into your childlike energy, because in your child mindset, family, is where the creative aspect will come back and bring it to you again. That's what I loved about you. You ever remember that movie Shogun Warrior?
Yeah.
Remember that movie? What did he do to his son? He put a ball here and he put a sword here. And if he went towards the ball, he was going to take him out and send him back to his mother who got killed. He put the sword here. If you came to me, you're going to follow me and you're going to be with me to go and avenge your mother. He gravitated to the sword. He became a warrior. You know what I'm saying? So you always have something in your childhood that you're going to attract to, whether it's art, music, dancing, painting rocks. A structure, whatever it is, business, whatever you gravitate from a young age. I gravitated to singing, so I became number 5 on the reggae chart later on.
Wow.
I did it. I became a radio personality, a television personality, because I love to talk and use my verbiage and love to communicate with people. It's there.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, so powerful, man. You know, just looking at like me being, of course, September 4th, right?
Yes.
So just break down some things on how my numbers could help guide me.
Man, your life path, of course, is a 22, right? So what you're doing on whatever level you're doing is masterful, to say the least. But remember, being born in the 9th month is always reminding everybody born on the 9th month to finish what they start. Because in certain system of numerology, the 9 represents the first pinnacle or the early moments of your life, that if your parents encouraged you to finish what you start, then you wouldn't have no problems as you gotten older. There are some people that was not encouraged to finish what they start. So as they got older, they always start and stop and start and stop. And then because you're born on the 13th, which is the number of power and dominance, which the 1 deals with the creative and assertive aspect you have to use, and the 3 deals with the jovial attitude of expansion and growth that you have to use, and creativity. 1 and 3 are also creative numbers. The 4 says you got to put the discipline behind the creativity and the assertiveness also with your numbers. And then your master number, your life path, is saying, yo, you're a master builder. What are you doing? Build. Don't be emotional about building. If you know it's good and positive and productive for you, just build what you're supposed to do and show the world what you came here to do, because master numbers come with certain responsibility. And if you're not willing to live up to that, responding to your ability, then that's where the problem lies.
Wow.
Just with your numbers alone. And then your name, just the name Billy alone. Just the L, the double L tells me so much that's in that name, with the master number 33 of healing and helping and guiding people to Christ consciousness energy is the 33. So you do things on a Christ-like. I mean, I've seen this man give away his whole closet. Yeah. He was moving from one place to another. He gave away his closet when we was at Fort Lauderdale that time he was over there. And I was at the house. He was packing up and getting ready to move. This man gave away his stuff. He gave things to the prisoners. That is the humanitarian energy, not only of the 9th month that he's born under. If you look, you're born the same day as Beyonce, but you're born also connected to the frequency of people like Tyler Perry, who's also born 9/13, but y'all still have that 9 and that 4 energy. And your alignment numbers are 13 because 9 plus 4 is 13. So him doing what he does on a major level, and Iyanla Vanzant also, y'all are all Beyonce, all of y'all are born under that frequency of serving. And you know, a lot of people don't know. A friend of mine told me, because she was once trafficked. She was one part of the people that was trafficked. Beyonce gives to an organization. You and her born the same day, privately to young girls that's been trafficked.
Wow.
And they met Beyonce.
Wow.
You know?
Amazing.
So I know these things because I connect with people when I was on radio and television. She used to tell me about that. I was like, so that's what your people with your frequency came to do. And that's why if you look at people in history born under your similar numbers, whether it's 9, 9, 4, 9, 13, or 9, 22, then you're going to see where they came to give that humanitarian.
You want to hear something crazy? My high school jersey is number 13.
Yeah. That's one of your power numbers.
And do you know how I picked that number? I didn't pick it because I didn't think anything back about numerology back in school. I picked that number because it looks like a B for Billy. You know, the 1 and the 3.
That makes a lot of sense. Exactly.
Yeah. That's how I picked the number 13. I love the number 13, and that's been my lucky number. And now what you just broke down to me, wow, it makes a lot of sense why I gravitated towards that number without even realizing it.
I mean, your alignment numbers are 13. 9 plus 4 is 13. Yeah. So that's also a part of your earlier frequency. So if you're in high school, the 13 would last and the 9 would last in your frequency between 9 and then 28 years from the development cycle from the time you were born. So weird and unusual situations may have happened in your life. A lot of contention or arguments could have been happening in the family and all that you may have picked up in your early parts of your life. Weird and unusual situation with relationships in the early part of your life, how you related to people. Some people may have misunderstood you throughout your life. Those are the type of things you got to look at when you see 9 and 13. Am I making sense, bro?
Oh, yeah, it's making a lot of sense. You know, I got off to a really rough start just being born with my blood type being RH negative, and something happened during my birth. I'm waiting for my cousin to come, who basically pretty much helped raise me. She's going to come on the podcast and give a complete breakdown. But I was in the hospital for about 3.5 weeks fighting for my life. So I got off to a rough start right away. You know what I'm saying? I was a 10.5 pound baby.
Whoa.
10.5 pounds. I was in my mother's womb for almost 10 months. I guess they didn't have I don't understand why they didn't induce labor back then in the 70s, but for whatever reason, they did not induce labor. She had a natural birth, believe it or not, which she said tore her from front to back.
Whoa.
But it was a fight. It was a battle to stay alive in the first few weeks, the first month of my life. You know, and I look back at my life. I've been through so many incredible things that should have taken me out a long time ago. I shouldn't be here. You know, I just shouldn't be here. Right. But I'm here, and I know a lot of people probably say, well, you know, I had some things that, you know, I could have died too. But just looking at the alignment of so many individual things and friends of mine just didn't make it. And sometimes you ask, it's like, wow, there must be a real reason why I'm here. There has to be a reason why I survived all these things to be here at this exact moment in time. Exactly. And that's what really motivates me to keep going. The fact that I don't want to waste my time that I have here.
Don't do it. That's right. That's right. No, and what you just said is, again, weird and unusual things happening. You see what I'm saying? And I guess it can sound general, but people, especially born under your frequencies and that 4 energy, if they really look at it, like, wait a minute, wow, that's interesting. Because everybody that I've done with clients and all that, they sometimes live in their own head, and probably they compartmentalize things in their own head till they get it pulled out to the front. And then you start remembering, wow, I remember that. I remember this. I recall this, what happened with my mother and me trying to be born at a certain time, all of that. So you got to always look at those. And that's what numbers help us to do, help us to recognize the possibilities of where we're going to go and what can be attracted to us according to the numbers. And that's what is important about using the numbers as a help, as a guide.
Right. And you talk a lot about the fact that the numbers show you something positive, but also to show you if you don't take action, there could also be a negative. There's a yin and a yang. Can you explain that a little bit more?
In my book, Numerology for Mental Stability, I speak about the 4 paths. I speak about the path of construction, obstruction, destruction, and being complacent. So even born under a number that says you're supposed to be doing this, doing this, doing this, but if you're not resonating and moving towards the highest, then you will either maintain a mediocre life or you start going down, which ironically, one time, and I remember telling you this before, ran into somebody born the same day as Barack Obama who was a crackhead, emotionally going down this crackhead road. Born the same year, same month, same day, don't mean a darn thing. If you ain't got that swing to swing up and do what you got to do. So the important thing that people got to realize is that you're giving a path, and all of us are given a path. And some people may say there's free will, and some people may say there's not free will, but definitely there's something there that's alerting you that you have the possibility to accomplish certain things, whether it's on a smaller level or a higher level. At the end of the day, it's up to you how much work you want to put in, how much it's up to you what are you willing to do the research to make sure you propel yourself to the next level. And like Mission Impossible, you are given the tape. And you are told like, yo, you've given all these gifts, talents, and skills. It's up to you which you're going to turn on and use, or you can just dash it away and let it burn out. Like the Mission Impossible movie. He always do that. Hey, Eaton, you can take on this mission if you want, but if you decide not to, all right. And that's what we are given just by coming in this realm, which is the learning center. I just taught a whole class called Earth, the classroom, the cosmic classroom. I just taught it on my channel, King Simon Presents. And from a numerology perspective and from a spiritual and physical perspective, I broke it down and showed people how people got to pay attention to when you're in the classroom, you're here to learn. And some of the negative, quote unquote, negative lessons are here for you to learn from it and then move on from it, grow from it. So every time we pay attention to those things, what you've gone through, what I've gone through throughout our life, it was all learning lessons in the classroom of life. And that's the powerful thing about it. And the word classroom has master number frequency throughout it all. So anytime you see the word class or room and put them together, you have the double S's, you have the double O's, you have 11, you have 11, you have 33, you have 66, you have 77. So it's always telling you something about enhancing the strength of being in a classroom, and why classroom or the earth being a classroom or your classroom is such an important place to learn, to spiritually ground yourself, to study and research on higher vibratory level. And I believe, teachers are underpaid. I really believe good teachers are underpaid, because everybody came through teachers that we know in the known world right now. And they're not getting paid as much as Michael Jordan and everybody else.
Right. True. Very, very true. But something really resonated with me, what you were just talking about.
Yes, sir.
Because one of my own personal concepts or understanding about what is this realm, what is our mission here, because I believe we do have a mission.
Yes, right.
I personally believe that this is a proving ground, or like you say, a classroom.
Classroom, right.
And I believe that we are all fractals of God, experiencing life subjectively as individuals, but we're all really one. We have the illusion of separation, the illusion of individuality, and God wants to know, what is it like to be Billy Carson? What is it like to experience life through his eyes, through his emotions, through his feelings, through his accomplishments or lack of thereof, and what is it like to be King Simon, so forth and so on. And I believe like that this is the ultimate goal. It could be a multi-part test. One test is to see how many incarnations a person goes through before they begin to become an ascended master and realize who they truly are. And also collectively as a whole, one of my own personal concepts is, could this be a proving ground or a testing ground where we're in this classroom, this grand stage, learning how to become one as a people and learning how to elevate to a golden age, but not just a golden age that goes back around the cycle and crashes and starts over again. The ultimate goal, in my personal opinion, could it be that we have to attain a golden age and sustain it? And then how many other experiments like this have happened in other planets where civilizations have gone through the cycle thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of times before they found out how to sustain a golden age. And there's could be a certain small number of golden ages that exist within even our Milky Way galaxy of civilizations that found a way to sustain a golden age. and maybe that's our mission too.
That makes a lot of sense, especially if you look in it from that perspective. And there's so many perspectives, man. I mean, many of us may not have been to Mars, but there's people that have done the viewing and all that kind of stuff. They're doing remote viewing. I mean, they're using remote viewing. I mean, scientifically using this stuff.
Yeah,
you know, and
really.
all of that is connected to. Yeah, I know you know. I know.
Crazy.
Then you went to school for it too, right? Did you go to school?
Yeah, yeah. Major Red Dames. Excuse me, Major Red Dames ahead of Project Stargate.
I think I got his book just because you mentioned his book, mentioned about his information. I got his book. And, you know, bro, you know, one thing I recognize, man, that this lesson in life, some people came through to be the best plumber they came to be. Some people came through to be the best painter at this particular time. Some people came through, and that best painter that know how to paint your house might be Picasso. You don't know. We don't know who it is. That's what I'm saying. The plumber that came to your life might be the one who designed the plumbing system back in the day. We don't know. But I know if you're attracted and gravitate to those things, mathematically can reveal. And like your beautiful wife asked me the other day, can numbers reveal past life thing? Yes, when numbers are missing in your name, it usually reveals that what you came through to accomplish in this realm and what you did not accomplish probably in the last life that you was here, according to that certain science's numbers. So I think we have a powerful mission as people that create content to keep it positive, keep it high frequency, because the world is inundated with a lot of negative. A lot of negative. And I remember Les Brown saying, and Tony Robbins at his class saying, in his class, it takes 16 positive to knock out one negative. So we gotta, if you're listening to one negative of 1 minute of negativity, you need 16 minutes of positivity.
Yeah, that's a fact. I believe that 1000% too. I read the same thing. And you know what? I tested it on myself.
Exactly.
Because as a content creator and putting out alternative news on social media, you and I both have to divulge and digest a lot of negativity because we got to sort through things to find things we want to talk about. Exactly. And along with that comes a lot of negativity because there's so much negativity going on.
Yeah.
But then I realized I would post something, let's say it's police brutality or someone, treating somebody, racially biased at a store, all these random things I've posted about over the years.
Right.
Then, so what happened was I post a couple of those things. If I post them back to back, I start watching the comments.
Right.
I start seeing people get very angry. Right. Yep. And they get very angry. They get extremely pissed. They're leaving comments, not at me, but at the situation, obviously.
Right.
But then a few of those people who I personally know, like, I know their accounts, I know them personally as people, I would then go track them a little bit, and other posts that we both follow, I would go check and see if they responded to or replied or liked anything else. And I started noticing a trend.
Yes.
Like if I post something negative, a couple things back to back, all of a sudden that person now is thrown into this negativity algorithm.
Right.
And then they start seeing on their screen more negativity and they start responding to more negativity, and it creates this negativity tsunami. And I was like, wow, even I realized I have to have balance on my account. If I have to post something that's going to be tragic or traumatic, I have to back it up with a lot of positive stuff. That's just incredible, man. So you're right with that. That's 1000% accurate.
And that's why I couldn't watch the woman being lit on fire in New York. I couldn't watch it. I'm from New York. I couldn't watch it. When my friend sent it to me, I was like, oh man, I can't watch this. because I know I'm not that person that's going to videotape it. Yeah. Come on, let me put my coat on her. Let her stop, drop, and roll. Let's do that.
Yeah. We got to save this woman's life. We're not here to take photos and videos.
I've been on fire before. I know what fire can be, especially if you have Polly and Esther. You can forget about it.
Goodness.
Flame on.
Oh, man. Tough, man. It's tough. Hairspray, too.
Yeah, hairspray, anything that's flammable and flammable. And so that I could not even Billy, even the brief snippet that I did see, I had to go and listen to positive or watch something positive to throw me off, because Bob Marley, I'm paraphrasing, Bob Marley used to say, if the world is going around, if there's a majority of people doing a lot of negative, why can't we do the positive and offset that stuff? That's paraphrasing. Exactly. He didn't say it exactly, but that's basically what he meant.
Yeah.
So that's why he kept on putting out the consciousness, although, his movie might say one thing about certain things, but he kept on making sure that the world seen what he was putting out as far as positive music, as the purveyor of music. So, and I love what you're doing with your music, man. And keep on doing the work with it, man. I love it.
Yeah, thank you. We have to do a collaboration, man.
Me get back into music. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, we got to do a collaboration. I just need to get some vocals. You can come right on this mic right here at my house. Drop some vocals, make it into a hook. We'll make you do the hook, man. And me and Donnie Arcade or Cruz will hop on a track. I'll produce something nice, and we'll put it out, man.
I can still do reggae. I still know how to do music. I've still got a good voice. A lot of people say, but I give it to my son. But a lot of my friends have been coming out with music again. And when I look at their numbers, it's the right time for them to come back. And sure enough, these guys are coming out. And I talked to one of them while I was in Jamaica. And I said, y'all making me feel like coming back out again. Y'all, the way y'all sounded good. You said, Simon, come on back out, man. Come on. Because I didn't like the smoke inundative of the club. I couldn't take the smoke. I couldn't take the drinking. I just had to leave it alone after a while, man. I couldn't take it. But it's a different world we're in now. People are more confined to certain things, and now we can do it from our own house or come to people's house instead of going into these smoke-filled studios where they're smoking weed all day and all night.
No more. Listen, I sit right here in my house. I produce the beat on a Mac using Pro Tools and a beat machine. I send it out by email to Donnie Arcade or Cruz or whatever our artist is going to be on. They lay something on a track. They send it back to me if I like it, or tell them to make some adjustments. When I finally get what I like, I tell them to bounce the whole thing down and send it to me. They send me the bounce down files. I take that with my files, bounce those down, and send it to my engineer. He creates the arrangement for me. He sends it back to me. If I like it, if I don't, we change a couple things. When we get to the final, he sends me a finalized wave. I take it, then I master it. And once I get it mastered, I put it in global distribution, just like that. Boom, 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 boom. No clubs, no popping bottles and all this crazy stuff. Sitting right here in the house, relaxing. Guess what? Billboard. We hit Billboard for 8 weeks in 4 categories in 2018, and I think we have now 5 music awards.
I remember. Man, y'all are doing phenomenal work. And next year is going to be very interesting for both you and your wife, because and again, this is going back to guiding people with numbers. It's just when I used to do compatibility sessions, when you look at the personal numbers, which is the date that they were born, and when it adds up, like you and your wife's number add up to 18, which is a 9, and we're going into a 9 year. Go high. Don't let people bring you down low. That's all that's one thing it means, because that number is a number of straight up haters. Like I've told you, and I've told you 4 is a number of secret haters. So all of that, once you understand that, 9 is saying, do things that serve humanity. And both of y'all together, keep on doing that serve humanity. Stay in your lane and do what serves humanity. And you will do well in that 9 year together. So
and that's what we're focused on, man. That's exactly what we're focused on. Positivity, uplifting, helping people. The people, they think they can tear us down, but they just can't. They may catch me off guard for a moment, but I bounce back so fast from that. It's just like we got right back in it. That same, matter of fact, the same day, the day after the day that I felt really hurt by what happened, I just donated a whole bunch of money to an orphanage in Africa. We're always helping people, man. You know how it is. We're always helping and building and finding more ways to help people. And how can we be a better service to the people that do support us and everything else? And how can we collaborate more? And that's the mindset that we're really on. So These, I call them fake attacks, because you can't really attack somebody who's walking in their power. You can only have the illusion that you're doing something. But when that person, you remember Hulk Hogan back in the day?
Of course.
He'd be down, they'd have him down, pinned on the mat, and they're like trying to tap him out. And
his hands
start getting up. And the more they beat him, the more he stand up, until they beat him. He stands straight up, and then he goes, no, no, no. And then he body slams him. I'm gonna make that into a meme, matter of fact.
Yeah. And
it's just staying positive, man.
Yeah, and I'm like what you're doing with Terrence Howard and what you're doing with what you did with Joe Rogan. That was very good. Those, matter of fact, both of them born under the master number 11. Joe was born August 11th. Terrence born March 11th. You master number 22. It just works all together to make things happen on a higher level.
Yeah, man.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah. So what can people do to get involved in understanding their numerology? Of course, buy your books, because your books are incredible. That's one.
Thank you.
But what else can a person do to get involved with numerology or learn about their own numbers?
I tell people, and I usually tell people, you don't have to buy my books. I tell you, Google what you want, and then wherever you resonate, again, going back to your intuition. Because certain books that I pick up, like this book is a number in dreams that I picked up by Doris Snyder. Very good book. And it talks about the language and the symbolism of dream. Then this is from the Abjad Muslim perspective with Suleiman. I pick up book. I move with, it says, key to sacred science, geometry, and numerology in Islam. Because I want to study and know all different aspects. But if you're an astute studier like myself and you, then for our field, I'm not trying to get into your holographic lane. I'm staying in my lane. Now, holographic information is connected to numbers also. So I see what I'm reading your book. I'm like, okay, I understand. And I said, so different things. Even this book that I bought in Harlem probably 10 years ago, this one is a Healing with Numbers, Divine Healing Codes. These are codes that you write on your arm or write under your pillow. And one of the codes says increase motivation, 24-824-9625. You write it on your pillow and you go to sleep with it. And it's supposed to increase motivation. Wow. And I tell people, look, you have people that doubt it, and it's all right. It's what you put your energy towards that will make it work for you. Correct. That's how it happens. That's how it works. Because if you don't, Bob Marley used to say, anything can work, That's what he used to say. Anything could work. Just like James Brown, he used to have all of his instruments sound like drums. He talked about everything had to sound like the drum. So he and anything could work. And what did Maceo said? Maceo said, what's so funny, Maceo said, that don't sound, that's not music. He said, what do you mean, Maceo? What do you mean it's not music? Your God gave you ears. Whatever you create is yours. And however you use numbers, because I don't want to get people on a sense of being controlled by numbers and by the jargons of numbers. Because some people say life path is important, the destiny number is most important, this is most important. No, the interpretation and how you use it is the most important. I don't care if your life path is this, because your personality number might be overshadowing your life path at this time. That's how deep it gets. Your name number might overshadow your birthday number at this time. Your middle name might need to be put in play right now. Your last name needs to be looked at as a higher frequency of use right now. You never know. That's why the name Brown has been so successful throughout history. John Brown's body, Charlie Brown, Buster Brown, Les Brown, James Brown, Bobby Brown, Chris Brown. Look at the history. One is in the Pythagorean system, it's a number 9. In the Chaldean system, it's a master number 22. International and master builder. You can't miss it.
Right. Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah, man. That's incredible, man. Wow. Yeah, that's powerful. I didn't even realize that. You're right. It makes a lot of sense. The list of Browns just keeps going. There's so many more. There's scientists, quantum physicists.
Exactly. That's why James Brown kept on saying, call me Mr. Brown. Call me Mr. Brown. Respect me, Mr. Brown. Right. That's it. He understood, but they didn't understand the mathematics. But there's something about that Brown and Jackson. Throughout history, Jackson is a master number 22. That frequency of Michael Jackson and Jesse Jackson and Reggie Jackson and all these Jackson names popping up throughout history. It's there as a master number to do what it's supposed to do.
Right, exactly. And if somebody is, has that same name has those very similar dates of birth,
Yes.
but they're not achieving what they feel they should, then what is your advice for them?
My advice is to not only study those people, but also, again, find your love. Because your name might be Michael Jackson. It don't mean that you're going to do exactly what Michael Jackson did. He was also born under a whole nother frequency, August 29th, which is an 11. So that's a whole different frequency. You could be born September 1st and you're Michael Jackson. But that means you may be supposed to be successful and mastery in business with that name, Michael Jackson. Don't mean maybe you're supposed to be a master teacher in something else. Other than, because Michael, the name Michael has two master numbers alone, has the number 22 and the number 33 in the other system. So you got, and then Jackson. So anytime you see Michael popping up, I'm always curious about Michaels, because those are the ones that always go through a lot of stuff in history. That name, Michael. So if I see somebody that might be born under similar frequencies, just like you and Beyonce is born the same day, or this person is born the same day as people like Winston Churchill and all that, then I tell them, study what they do and what they've done, but study it while you're finding what you love to do and apply their business acumens and principles to make yourself. That's what I tell my clients. I ran into people born the same day as Zig Ziglar. One guy, I just did him recently, born the same day as Zig Ziglar, who was a motivator, master motivator, Zig Ziglar, of business. He don't know what he wants to do. And I said, you need to study Zig Ziglar. He said, wow, that's crazy, because I watched Zig Ziglar. I said, exactly. You attracted to him because you're born the same day as him.
Wow.
But you don't know that you need to take the information that Zig has to offer from his books and his information and his dedication to what he did and apply it to what you love. You're a personal trainer, make that happen, but apply Zig Ziglar's method to it.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you want to take the attributes from somebody on the same frequency, take those attributes and apply the attributes to your life so you can get a better result.
Exactly. At this day and time. Because Zig has passed on. He transitioned. And he was beautiful back in his day with his information. Reverend Ike, beautiful back in the day with the Reverend. I still use Reverend Ike. I send people to your channel to listen to your frequencies and all that kind of stuff to pick up, because the importance of learning how to circulate instead of spending is so important for everybody. And people complain about spending for a bill and spending for food and saying they don't have it. But if you don't change the language like a Reverend Ike taught us, or like when you teach it, or when Les Brown teaches, we don't learn to change the language, then of course we're going to get stuck up in a pitfall and a hamster wheel for the rest of our life, following that same language. And when I changed my language and started saying, like Dr. B. Serious would say, big up to Dr. B. Dr. B. Serious would say, yeah, that's my man, my brother. Dr. B would say, circulate. He says circulate. He says currency is circulating back to me 1,000 folds, right? And I changed it from 1,000 folds to 1,000,000,000,000 folds, because even if I miss the trillion, I'll land amongst the thousands, and I'm good. I'm still going. So that's how I always put it 1,000,000,000,000 folds. And sure enough, Billy, it worked. Funds come in slowly but surely, but it comes at the right time, in the right cycle, in the right way it's supposed to come. And that's and so interesting. Let me show another book. This book is called Africa Counts, Numbers and Patterns of African Culture. So you know that they even have it in that. I just showed you the Abjab, the Islamic one. I showed you some of the dream. And of course, so I want people to know, and that particular book the person that wrote the introduction for this book is Dr. John Henry Clark, showing you the mysticism and the games that we created back in our ancient culture, from the indigenous of the Mexican, and also here in America, and also in Africa, also throughout all of the Americas. So you gotta recognize that this is an important factor of using numbers and how to count and how to recognize patterns, cycles, and sequences in our life, and navigate through it, just like a GPS. GPS tell you, if you got a good GPS, it'll tell you that there's a log in the road. That's how deep it is, and people are swerving around it. It'll tell you, a good GPS tells you this. So if you got a good GPS, where I look at numerology or numerovation as a good GPS, it gives you how to align yourself and be careful of the pitfalls. But just remember, pitfalls are here to help you learn. It's just like a setback. A setback is a set up for a comeback.
There you
all
go.
the time.
Yeah, I love it.
Yes.
Yeah, man, I love it. I know that you love to teach, and you have a lot of classes. You have an upcoming workshop. Let's talk about that. What's up with this workshop you have coming up?
I have a beautiful upcoming workshop on January the 11th from 1 to 4 p.m. More likely it's going to go to 5 because I have a Q&A at 4 o'clock. And it's called Guided Interpretations, where I'm going to use 3 to 4 different systems of numerology. And can I share real quick? Can I share screen?
Yeah, please.
I'm going to share a quick screen real quick. Hold on. You should see it right.
I'm going to put it up
right now. There it is. I just sent. Okay, so I'm going to use this system. The Chaldean is on top. Notice it's only 1 to 8. The Chaldean, the melanated people of Chaldea. Pythagoras is 1 to 9, and I'm also going to be reintroducing the Nigerian system of numerology, 1 to 0. Look at that, family. Wow. This was passed down from elders to generation by elders in Nigeria. So I'm reintroducing. I'm not the creator of it, but I'm the reintroducing to it because it deals with the dream, the use of dreams. And I'm also going to introduce my method from a numerovational concept that I'm coming up and figuring out right now from 0 to 9 the other way, and show you how A is connected to 0, K is connected to 0 and another, and U. So I'm going to be introducing these 2 systems other than using the main systems like Chaldea and the Pythagorean. So in that particular one, and I want people to ask as many questions. If I can't answer it, I'll let them know. I'm still learning and downloading because I'm a master student, baby. I'm a master student. I'm always learning.
That's how it is. That's how it has to be. We are always learning.
Yes.
Nonstop.
Yes. That's right.
And I know that Albert Einstein said, when you stop learning is when you start dying.
That's when you start. That I remember that quote. I have one. I think I have his biography of who wrote that. But I have Nikola Tesla's biography and autobiography. But I let me tell you something. Let me tell you, I'm in a critical cycle before my birthday. And let me stress this to your people before we finish. All of us have different various cycles that we run through. I talk about it in my book, Numerovation for Mental Stability. If y'all do get the book and you go to page 82, I talk about the reputation cycle, the journey cycle, the energy cycle, the mental cycle, the success cycle, the vacation cycle, and the critical cycle, which is usually 52 days before my birthday. So my critical cycle started on December 11th. You know what happened recently that was very critical? My son, because of the lack of communication between my son and his daughter's mother, because they was arguing and going through their own stuff and whatever they was going through, he lost our storage with my books and everything in it.
Oh, no.
All of my books that I've galvanized for my family for years, they sold it because there was a lack of communication about the money and funds, and then all of a sudden they stole it. But I'm in a critical cleansing cycle. So a tear came to my eye, Billy.
Yeah.
And then all I could do is text my son and say, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because I know that I'm in a critical cleanse. He's also in a critical cleanse because he's born February 6th. I'm born February 1st. So we're both in this, but he don't realize it until I said it to him. And I said, look, you both of us. So something had to be removed out of our life.
Yeah.
And maybe those books was necessary. I just pray that it gets to the right people because my name is written in all of them. I put my name and my signature in all the paper books. So you're going to see King Simon throughout all the books. Because it says King Simon and family because I wanted to leave it for my family. And Rich, brother Billy, I said to my family years ago, especially my sons, I said, look, if y'all can't keep the books, give it to a reputable organization or somebody that will cherish and respect book after I'm gone.
Yeah.
Right now it's gone. You're talking about 1,000+ books.
Oh man.
Oh, so
Library of Alexandria.
Say it again.
It's the Library of Alexandria you have.
Yeah, and we wanted to set up a library, but again, I'm glad I saved. I made sure I took out the books that I really love and really use my esoteric books. Your books is not there. Your books are here. So I'm glad I didn't put them in that kind of thing. So it brought tears to my eyes. But I tell people when you're in a critical cycle, always be critical of what you do with people, how you do things with people, the people around you, because that's a cycle of cleansing. And that's a cycle of paying attention to your elders or even checking up on your elders, finalizing things, finishing things up. And I wish we would have communicated better and I would have finished it up so I can keep my books. And he sent me something right before it happened. I'm like, nah, this is not communication, bro.
Right.
But everything is well, brother. I'm doing well as much, and people are still booking, and people are still saying they watching me on your show from back, watching the television series. And so I thank you very much for allowing me to be a part of that whole journey and that love of doing what we do.
Yeah, man. Now we got to do another season. This year we're going to lock in. We're going to definitely do season number 2 of Calculate Your Destiny with King Simon on the Forbidden Knowledge TV app. It's coming very soon. I guarantee it. It is done. It will happen, and you'll have a second season, man. So start working on your episodes.
Okay, just let me know where you want me to go with it, because we already calculated something. I need to rewatch it and see where I need to just step out from there, because I wanted to be up to something absolutely new, but also can be helpful for humanity.
Absolutely, man. Just rewatch it and figure out where you want to go with it, because we're going to give you full artistic powers. Man, we ain't editing your words. We're not taking nothing away. You know how we do. We want to give you your full artistic powers and let you guide it where you feel it needs to go based on the first season. So we can keep people escalating and growing.
Okay, no problem. We could go level. We could elevate it. No problem. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much.
Matter of fact, let's play a clip. Let's play a trailer from Calculate Your Destiny. Let's see if we can find that trailer. Let's see. Hopefully this is it right here. Hold on.
Did you ever wonder if your birth date holds information about your destiny? Why you keep seeing the same number or several numbers? Welcome to Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. I am your host, King Simon. Numbers are not here to control you, they're here to give you guidance. It's time for you to be able to read the numbers.
Remember when that was said to me, boy. I love that.
Yeah. And you look crispy in there too, man. You look good in there, brother. You look good, man. We representing our age group, man. I love it. I love it, man.
Exactly.
And it was phenomenal. Again, guys, if you want to watch King Simon on Calculate Your Destiny, learn more about numerovation, make sure you guys go to forbiddenknowledge.tv or go to the Forbidden Knowledge TV app on your app store. Download the app, Amazon TV, iOS App Store, Google Play, Roku, Samsung TV, LG TV. We just added LG TV, Android TV. Wow. Get the app, install it, and watch Calculate Your Destiny with King Simon. And also, don't forget, he has a workshop coming up very soon.
Yes.
And the link is in the caption of this video.
Yes.
And we'll be dropping it in the live chat.
You can go to Linktree/King Simon and Numerator, or go to my IG at Iam.KingSimon, and all my links are up there. My YouTube channel is King Simon Presents, only quality people, but it's King Simon Presents, KSP TV Media. And Brother Billy, thank you very much. And I applaud you and your family for weathering the storm and staying strong and staying focused and being honest and transparent and upfront with who you are and how you expect to grow and be your very best over the years, brother. Keep on doing it.
Appreciate it, brother, man. You like family to us. We love you.
Yes, love you too.
And we'll have you back on again very soon. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, my brother. Peace and love. Take care.
Peace.
Peace.
Watch this video for free at www.4bk.tv or download the app on your smartphone, Fire Stick app, Samsung TV, Roku, and other app providers.